Mind you, it's great to see people coming annually for this little celebration here. Of course, the major celebration will be, and commemoration will be Rallying and Ballyboy, but it's grand to see people like Dennis remembering to come up, bring people up here for this, because a lot of people died in the Sligo Mountains during and after the famine, because we have a record in the Killishy Parish records of actually nearly 100 years before the famine, 1750, where up to 40 families died with the hunger and the cold in the woods of Cooler Creek. They all had to leave their homes in the Sligo rooms up here due to a certain incident, and they all died there. And they were buried actually outside the walls of the graveyard in Carrigain. Somebody put little stones there where the graves were, but that's another long story. But in the 1821 census, which we were lucky to have in this area, there was 2,500 people in the Cadamstown area, which comprised 8,500 acres. It was the parish of Litter at one time, but then after the famine it amalgamated with Kinnity because the population went down. So 2,500 people was the population, and they lived mostly in the mountain, because there's a good land all around here. There was 4 or 5 landlords owned the good land, so that population was mostly in the Sligo Loom. When the famine struck, after the famine, the 1850s, the population had more than half. So a lot of them didn't emigrate because they had no money to emigrate. But my grandfather, he was 16 or 17 during the famine, and he told stories about it. He died, I think, around 1914. He was 105. And he told a lot of stories which used to be handed down by the people. He saw people dying in the ditches and dying in the houses, because when the fever came, a whole family would die in the house, and people wouldn't go near them, afraid to contact the fever, so the whole house would fall in on top of them. Actually, I remember an old uncle of mine up in the mountain one time, Robert Dillon. He was mowing a meadow with a mowing machine and horses, and there was a big clump of bushes in the middle of the field, and I said to him, why don't you take that house? Oh, he says, no, he says, we wouldn't go near that. He says, that was a famine house where people died with the fever, and he says, we wouldn't touch it. So that was the sort of the case that time. But it's grand for you to come and remember it, and I think it's to remember the people that passed away, and it's great for the, as I said before, Dennis and all the organisation, the Ramblers and those, to remember those things. And we won't delay, because we have to be down in Ballyboy, and from that to Raleigh, and we'll try and do the walk from Raleigh to Ballyboy. I had a walk yesterday, we done 12 miles, but I'll try and make it. So anyway, again, thanks to everybody for coming along, and I hope you'll all enjoy the walk from Raleigh to Ballyboy, which is an annual event. So again, thanks to everybody.
If I may, just to say thanks to Paddy and the local community here for this response. It's long overdue in lots of places, the thing we neglected down through our history, and I'm glad that people are facing up to it. It was no fault of those people that died, none whatsoever. They were depending on potatoes rotted, and subsequently people died. They either had to emigrate, die, go into the workhouses. They hadn't much of a choice. Sadly, today's famine are still with us. People have a different skin colour, but greed is still there, and we hope at some stage or other that will be eliminated. And I'd like to thank Paddy for presenting this stone here from the Gottamore, and for organising this today. It's lovely to see all those people remembered. They were all our ancestors. From Paddy. Just have a minute's silence, just in reflection for all those people. Thank you. Now, if you mind, we're going to go to Ballyboy. We're going to, there's a mark of respect for all those that died.